My name's Mike, and I work at Ziba as a creative director. And my talk was called The Art of the Future Vision Video. And it was really this kind of retrospective on how companies tell stories about their vision of the future and some of the lessons we can learn from that. One of the themes about these videos that came across, one of the points that I make is that it's easier to predict these like new modes of interacting. So there was one video about the 1960s about kind of shopping at home from your computer monitor, but the way they showed these like computer monitors was this totally 1960s vision of it. And so that's I think one of the things about when we predict the future is we're kind of stuck with maybe somewhat slight evolutions of the tools that we have today. So probably when we think about stuff like kind of in the farther future, like 20 plus years, there's stuff that you can't predict, which is like the means in which we're going to be using it. Probably be very different than some of the things we take for granted. So, and hopefully, the trend that I see usually is that it actually becomes more naturally integrated with how people like to live. So instead of a big giant boxy computer, stuff has been shrinking, getting smaller, kind of getting quieter. So maybe instead of gigantic kind of loud displays or something like that we see in technology, maybe it's going to get a lot more hidden, put away, quieter, integrated, natural into our environment. That's actually even more exciting than some of the kind of super large scale ubiquitous things that we sometimes see today. It's in a long tradition actually of kind of augmented reality category of products. So there's been a number of those sort of things. So again, with this theme of videos, is ideas usually aren't novel. It's great that Google is moving forward with this stuff and has, in theory, products or demos, at least the rumors, and they're doing a good job with kind of teasing this out as something. And certainly when I bring up this idea of things incorporating naturally into people's environments or kind of fading into the background. It's like kind of a double-sided coin with the concept if you think about that. Because on one hand, as a user, I don't have screens to mess with and screens kind of dominating. But now I have the headset, and that impacts everyone else and makes it more impactful on their environment. So it'll be interesting to see how we naturally incorporate things like that into our lives. Sometimes we have to do these videos actually, so our clients will ask us, to create a vision of the future, one way, shape, or form. Maybe usually more in the nearer term, kind of 18 months out, that sort of thing. And in that case, it's about telling a story and about putting together a coherent picture of what something should look like when it is made further down the road. So there's a lot of barriers between the idea and the execution of it. So at the beginning of it, if it's you're part of a very, very large company, let's say, it's helpful to have that as kind of a goalpost out there. So that's what we like to think of those videos for, is kind of the place that we all want to go, even though that's further in the future. It's kind of let's make a picture as soon as we can about that, and I'll try to get there.